Hello.
Hello there, Mr.
Hello.
Toikan. Welcome to the stream. Ladies and gentlemen of Twitch chat, here we have the finals day of the February Nova Cup. And with me in the co-caster chair, it's none other than the hero from Holland, the Dutch disaster. It's Mr. Toikan himself. Welcome to the stream, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty hyped.
I'm really hyped to have you here, actually. I think
it's
been a long time since we've cast together, so I'm really happy to have you with me today, actually.
Well, it's been a long time since I've casted, so
yeah.
Let's see. I'm a bit rusty. But it should be fine, right?
And I got to say, you're looking absolutely splendid today as well, Mr. Toikan.
What picture did you use?
Just the standard smiling hippo, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, the original and the best.
The OG one.
The OG, exactly. Now,
oh man, I'm pretty hyped, by the way. I was checking the leaderboard before this game.
Yep.
I was checking out the players, but all the players that are still here, well, King Dance dropped a little and SSP dropped a little, but they are all top 10 players, you know.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
So we'll be hyped, and I wanted to make a prediction who was going to be first and second, but it's really hard. It's really
so hard. Like, all four teams are very, very high caliber teams, I think, this time around. Like, I think there's possibly some favourites, like King Dans and Widdowson is just an absolute monster of a team, right? But Shadow and Joke can certainly give them an upset. And I think, obviously, SSP and Aviator are pretty hype as well, right? But you can't count out, like, XCrash and Ashton, they're January Cup winners, and they also won both of the Polywog and Devilfish Cups, so they've got some pretty sweet tournament results under their belt as well. I think it's just such a close set of teams in today's games that it's going to be really, really tight to call.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I can't make a good prediction who's going to win. Well, but let's see. This one will be a rough one. Because if you feed XCrash or you feed Aviator, they're just going to be ahead. And if you feed XCrash, they're going to pick your weak wave, right? He's just not going to send versus you. And if you're feeding Ashton, he's just going to snowball out of his mind.
I mean, Ashton is just an absolute monster, isn't he? Like, if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Like, if he's not kept under control, he will just snowball beyond all comprehension. That's what he's known for.
True, but the same is for it goes for everyone.
Yeah, the same goes for everyone. Like, you can't really pick out any of those four players and say that they're not going to do well if they get fed. Like,
no. So we might be seeing Aviator and Ashton actually saving longer than they do on the ladder, you know?
Yeah, true.
Just not to give the other one a head start. So it will be interesting. It will be really, really interesting how these games go.
Yeah.
Also, it's the first time for SSP and Aviator that they are in a duo in the tournament, I think. Or the second time already.
Did they play the last Masters Cup together?
I'm not sure.
I think they may have done. I think they've played together before, maybe in Masters Cup or Legion in-house league or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, but the last Nova Cup they couldn't play, right?
No, that's right. Yeah, I think they were busy that time around. But this matchup, the first one we've got today, so we're going to be watching SSP and Aviator versus XCrash and Ashton Butcher. Now, if I'm looking at the leaderboard now, and 3 of those 4 players are in the top 4 players in the world right now. So this is a very, very high level game. Obviously, SSP is a little bit lower because he's somewhat of a pleb, right?
Well, he also lost a lot of elo with me. We kind of ended somewhere in the middle.
I see. So it's your fault, Mr. Toikan. It's your fault that SSP is not in the top 10.
Yeah, that's my fault. Completely.
Absolutely. But yeah, like, this is a very, very high level game now with 3 of these 4 players already achieving their 2.6k badges this season, which is pretty impressive because we've only been in the season for a month, right? So it's pretty cool that they've already hit that Grandmaster level, and I just think this is going to be a fantastic series, whoever wins. And I've honestly got no idea which of these teams is going to take it here.
No, me either. And I'm kind of sad that I can't see the other match.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but I think with scheduling and things like that, like, it's just kind of too much, because if all 3 series go to the maximum number of games, you've got best of 3 semi-final times 2, and then a best of 5 grand final. That's 11 matches. That's like 6 to 7 hours, which I think is just a bit too much for the players, the casters, the viewers alike. Like I think it's nice to have a kind of concise 4-hour stream where people can just have some really good games of Legion, some really nice things to watch, and then
it's better for the casters to sleep, right?
Exactly. I mean, like, I'm not getting any younger, dude. I need my beauty sleep, you know?
No, me neither. Me neither. I have to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, we've all got work tomorrow, you know, like, yeah.
Oh, I see my pink hippo switching on the stream now.
There he is.
Really beautiful, right?
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, yeah. Do you like your caster stats there as well?
Yes. You're very creative with it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, and just in case anybody was wanting to see the other semi-final, we have thankfully got Mr. Slickins, aka Asia Prenke, on Twitch, who will be casting the semi-final between Widdowson Kingdans and Shadowwings and Joke on you. So feel free to switch between the two streams if you wanted to see the other semi-final. And of course, if one of the series ends before the other, we will make sure we catch the remaining games on the main stream as well. So don't worry about that.
Yep. Yeah, the game is already up, by the way, but only SSP and Aviator are in it.
Perfectly. Well, we can go and sit in the lobby then while we talk.
So, what do you think? What the mastermind options will be? Because I think
really don't know. Like,
yeah.
I really don't know. I don't expect to see any Fiesta or cash out from these players. I could certainly see some Castle, some Cartel. I think maybe. Ashton's a big YOLO player, right?
Yeah. Maybe some YOLO on Ashton.
Yeah.
Maybe they do like something like Chaos and Castle. Same for Kingdans and Wither. It's like really
it
hard
worked
to
for
beat
them, right?
It's really hard to beat late game. The combination of those two.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of predictable, right? If you always pick the same.
Yeah, it is. Like, if you know that one player is playing Castle every game, then you can just try to hyper-scale early and try to crush them, right? Like, I think something like Cartel is a hard counter to Castle. So if, for example, I'm sending into Widdowson, who I think is playing Castle, I can pick Cartel and push Workers really, really hard in the early game and just try to punish him to make sure that he doesn't really get to that late-game scaling potential that he has with Castle, right?
Yeah. And just let your teammates starve like Kingdans. Let's say Kingdans a bit, so Wither has to send.
Yeah.
Kingdans has to send, I mean. So your teammate can even scale harder into late game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't see any of these matches because you both didn't cast the games, right? From Aviator and SSP and XCrash and Ashton.
No. So yesterday we got to see Drakir and Slickins versus Bonnie and Basti, and then we saw Shadow and Joke versus Waving Creed and Valred, yeah. So
okay.
We tried to give a bit of coverage to some of the newer contestants, you know, people that we haven't really seen on the tournament scene before, so yeah. But now it looks like we're all back to the old school players. It seems that all 4 teams in the semis are like recognisable names in the tournament scene, right?
Yeah, it's a pity, to be honest. I hope to see like one new team.
Yeah. Did you see any of the games yesterday?
Yeah. Drakir and
Slickins were really close to taking a 2-0 over Bonnie and Basti. Like, really, really close.
Yeah, they entered somewhere in the mid-game, right? They made the wrong call and just lost the game there.
Yeah. I mean, Bonnie and Basti, you know, they have the experience, so as soon as like one small mistake is made, they can seize their opportunity and come back into the game. But yeah, like, they were so close to taking a 2-0 there, and it would have been really cool to see like one of the New Blood teams in the semi-finals today. But next month it's all up for grabs. Because Waving Creed and Valred, they had a really close series against Shadow and Joke as well.
Yeah, Waving Creed is popping off lately.
Yeah.
He was always playing a little bit, like sometimes you saw his name, but the last couple of months he stepped up his game, and you can see it. Also on the leaderboard, right? He
hit Legend last series. He's just playing very, very solidly, I think.
It's hard to break him. He is the overbuilder Starflord, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where are our contenders?
I don't know. It's 7 o'clock.
Huh? Where are
Maybe
they? They're running late.
Ashton's PC still needs to boot up.
Yeah.
It will take like 10 minutes.
Hold on, let me see if I can start poking some of these missing players to get them into the lobby.
Are they already online?
Ashton is online, but not in game. Where is XGod? He is also online, but not in game. Alright, so I've messaged both of them. Hopefully they can get their act together, get in the game, because the viewers are obviously having a fantastic time looking at our beautiful faces, but more than anything, they want to see some Legion. So let's get these players into the game and get things started.
I see Ashton coming online, so that's a good sign.
Nice.
I'm also pretty hyped. I can't wait for the game.
I'm
really curious. I just hope that we see like not a run over, like we see a good game where leagues on both sides, and I kind of hope on a Bone Crusher start, because games with Bone Crusher starts are just so slow in the early game that they are always interesting. People are getting so much Mythium.
Yeah. I think whatever happens, this is going to be a fun series, because both of these sides are going to be like very aggressive, very hard on the worker push. Like it's going to be a case of who can just scale the most. I think with these teams, I don't really expect to see like very long style play like we'd expect to see, you know, like in the Shadow Wings versus Waving Creed series. But I think with these guys, it's going to be more about who can scale the most through the early game to secure themselves that late game victory.
Spot the early game waves where you can punish them a little.
Yep.
And then just try to scale into late game and find the weak waves.
Exactly.
But that's the current meta overall, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the Legion, like the Mastermind options, have a lot of impact on that kind of style of play as well, right? Because if you want to go for that scaling, then you have the options with things like Castle. Or if you want to guarantee yourself a late game role, then you've got Redraw. Or, you know, but if you want to secure a really snowbally early game, then you've got Cartel or YOLO and stuff like that. So I think it makes it really interesting what option you want to pick to kind of dictate the rest of the game plan. Yep.
Did you see that Ashton joined and it immediately switched to Aviator sending to him?
Yes.
He was joining the lobby and he immediately switched.
Yeah. But I think it is up to SSP and Aviator to choose in this game, right? Or no?
I don't know. Well, I don't know the rules. What are the rules? The highest seated can choose? Penny?
Yeah, the higher... Whoever's on top in the bracket should choose seed order.
Okay. It doesn't really matter.
All right. And then the loser will choose seed order after that. So whoever loses the first game gets to choose send order in game number 2.
So they can switch it around if they want it. Is XCOD coming? Did you already hear something from XCOD?
He is just signing in now, so apologies for the delay. Twitch chat, but we will get this show on the road in the next minute, I would say.
SSP is switching teams. You want to join Ashton? Oh, they are switching sides.
So Aviator wants to send to XCOD. Okay.
Well, all players are there.
Everyone's here.
We are ready. And then we can finally start with the semi-finals of the Nova Cup.
Absolutely, dude, absolutely. All right, Twitch chat, the moment you've been waiting for is here. It looks like we have a lobby. We should be in-game within the next few seconds. So guys, welcome to day number 2 of the February Nova Cup, sponsored by Nexus.gg and Auto Attack Games. And here we have Aviator and SSP, that is team This Is Fine, versus XGod and Ashton Butcher, that is team XCrash. Toikan, let's get into the game. Are you ready, dude?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Alright, this is going to be a hell of a series. Whatever happens, expect to see a lot of worker push, a lot of scaling. These teams are absolutely known for their aggression and their hyper scaling potential.
And a lot of leaks.
And a lot of leaks. And a lot of crashes in Ashton's case, but hopefully no technical issues today.
And there we go.
And
nice.
We are in. Let's go.
Okay, both greed. Both greed on...
Wow, 3 greed. Insane.
Yeah. They are taking the safe route.
Ashton hasn't chosen yet. He goes YOLO. Yes, Ashton. Yeah. Get in, my son.
he's the fan of culture. But he got a good YOLO roll, to be honest.
He has
Starting with the gun. Starting with the gun, can protect himself. He has to stay 5 workers, but he's pretty safe after.
Yeah, he can drop like the Windhawk on 4 or 5, and then he's got the Violet potential to hold 6. Then you just shift on wave 7 to try and get the Vulcan Cannon on 8. That's a pretty solid looking game there for Ashton Butcher, like a decent YOLO roll. I'm just impressed that one of the players had the balls to pick YOLO in the semi-finals, you know?
Yeah. Who else than Ashton?
Who else than Ashton? Absolutely.
Okay, we see the first greed roll is being picked by SSP, and he got Boris with Halo as Steeds.
Yeah.
So not much to say about that roll.
Oh no! Oh no! He's got the roll, dude. That's it. That's sickening.
But I think he picked too many mana units. I didn't see his whole YOLO roll.
Yeah, but there are the Pilgrim, the Gate Guard, all of that is sucking mana away from the Halo, right?
Yep.
Which is his real carry unit.
Aviator does have an angler, but not really like scaling.
I actually think Aviator has a really nice role because you've got your Bounty Hunter to start with, then you can go for the Seraphim on 3, which is again solid on 4, 5, and 6, and he even has the Deep Coiler for 7 and 8, right? So I think his game plan is pretty solid for the early game.
True. And X-God also with a Bounty Hunter into, I don't know, Archit or something.
I think X-God's role is a bit more tricky. Like, he does have a Badger for 7, but that's kind of his only unit, and that's only a tank, right? So I think if he does receive a big wave 7's end, X-God might struggle there.
He got the Avenger, right? So you can always go Graf on 6 for the Avenger on 7.
Yeah. And we didn't call this one out, but we did see all 4 players going for their King Up on wave 1, so pretty standard play there. Nothing special to speak of. I wonder if there's going to be any Snail Sends. The answer is no.
And we didn't talk about the spells, by the way. We see the All-Out Pulverizer and the Magician. So we can see like a big 11 cent because the Bounty Hunters are not that great on 11.
But Pulverizer is pretty solid to hold against an all-out send, right? Like if you're sending one big tank and you've got a Pulverizer unit that just like stops the tank dead in its tracks, it's pretty good.
True. But it's way too early to say what spells everyone will pick.
True.
But oh wait, we see
Ian comes in. Oh, SSP and X-God actually save past wave 3. Okay. That makes sense, right? Like, SSP is looking kind of vulnerable on wave 4. At least he was before he played this Devilfish. Devilfish, obviously one of the best units on wave 4. It's just a fantastic tank there.
Yeah, but he also needs some damage, right? He
does need some damage, yeah.
Kind of lacks some damage for wave 4. And, yeah. For the rest, everyone should be fine versus the DT.
Yep.
And the Snail.
Ashton not getting his send here on 3 with the gun build. It kind of puts him in an awkward position, honestly.
Can he get his flower? If he can get his flower, he should be fine on wave 4 and wave 5.
I don't think he gets his flower. He probably has to place a Windhawk on 4. Which is like a fine tank, but obviously it doesn't do any damage on 4.
Never mind, he pushed the worker.
He pushed instead, okay. Okay. Classic Ashton.
Well, he probably couldn't get his flower, right? So
yeah, so he might as well push.
And he doesn't have a cheaper unit, yeah.
Or SSP 1 Mythium away from being able to send a Dino here on wave 4. So I think he might just save because of that.
Will he go straight 6?
From SSP?
Yeah.
I mean, he might, but that is less appealing now that you see Ashton playing the Windhawk here, right? He does have the potential for a very dangerous wave 5 send against Ashton.
Imps, right? He almost get the imps.
He can get the imps already. He may even be able to reach like a mole or something like that, but I think imps is probably better, right?
Does he leak small to this send? Yeah, he leaks low. Wait, look, see, you see this focus.
Yeah, he just can't kill the fiend, right? He can just never kill the fiend.
And the fiend will go into his devilfish.
Yeah, he's not going to kill anything else. This is a decent sized leak here from SSP.
Yeah, this will put him a little bit back into the...
60% there, but it was quite a big send, right? Like, that's an 80 send. He's leaking kind of 5 creeps in the fiend. This is just stacks now for Aviator.
It was, yeah, but it was still only versus income, and leaking so much versus income isn't the greatest.
Also, Aviator not actually getting any of the stacks there, with his Bounty Hunter being the first unit to die. But he is on 8 workers, meanwhile, on Aviator.
Yeah, and look at SSP's and Aviator's Mythium. They are both over 100 now.
Yeah.
I think they go straight 6. Yes, they go straight 6.
Wow, I mean, at the start of this game, we were saying how everybody's going to be building to scale, but Aviator and SSP are just going for this really aggressive early game starve. So they're putting a ton of pressure on XGod and Ashton, but look at this XGod. He has the Orchid already, which is both fantastic on 5 and, of course, Wave 6. It's probably the best unit you can have on Wave 6.
It's terrible on Wave 7.
It's terrible on 7, of course. But can Aviator and SSP really go all the way to Wave 7, though?
Maybe in this situation you go for the split send. So SSP goes for Wave 6, totally melts Ashton. Because I think
he's in the long wave, and then Aviator goes on Wave 7. Yeah, I could see that working.
Yeah.
I could see that working pretty well.
And then XGod is just dead because he leaks full wave.
SSP's in a pro league here.
Yeah. Is it a pro league or is it again a pretty bad league?
Oh no, it's a pro league. This is and this is perfect for him. Like, this is 42%, easy +4, and this is while they continue to save, right? Like, the long waves are really, really in the favor of Aviator and SSP while they're doing this aggressive worker save.
But the problem is that SSP is not pushing, and I think they just go both 7. Yeah, they both go 7.
Wow.
SSP
the sends are going to be enormous.
Yeah, SSP didn't push a single worker after it.
Wow. I mean, it's the right play because he's so starved at this point. But this is a real all-in play now, right? Like, if this mega send on 7 doesn't work out for them, they've pretty much lost the game because they've put all of their eggs in one basket already.
But Ashton is going for the Violet here.
Which is fantastic on 6, but terrible on 7.
Yeah, so his only good unit on Wave 7 so far is the gun.
Yeah.
And if you look at his roll, nothing in the range of the income he will get is good. So he might. But
he hasn't re-rolled yet. He hasn't re-rolled yet. So
X got full boosted here.
Oh, that's 20 gold that he'll never see again. He did play a Graal here though, so he will be able to make an Avenger for 7 if he wants to. What, Aviator, is he leaking badly here? Oh, his Pilgrim won't heal. That's a really big leak. 98% there from Aviator. That's not even a +4. That's a big old leak.
That's the boost, the gold. Yeah. So X can spend the boosting his back.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he's going to get 20 gold back from this league. This is perfect for them. But look at this Mythium now. Aviator and SSP, 230 Mythium each already.
When do they want to send? They have to go now, right?
I think they have to go now. They can't save another wave, surely.
Right?
Sure. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. No, Ghost Knight on SSP. When was the last time you saw a Ghost Knight on 7, Toikan? Never. Absolutely. This is just obscene.
But is the Ghost Knight the correct play? Yeah, okay. Ashton just can't kill the Ghost Knight, right? One gun isn't enough to kill the Ghost Knight. And
he's just spamming steeds here as well. Like, sure, they're good tanks on the wave, but the Ghost Knight is going to chew through them like butter.
The Ghost Knight is a better tank? Okay, the Avenger is good versus the Brutes that Aviator.
The Avenger is very good versus the Brutes. And their values are insane, right? Like 880 on XGod, 905 on Ashton. But the sends are enormous, 260 each. Have a quick look at this.
Getting focused? Yeah, okay, the Ghost Knight is getting focused.
Ghost Knight is getting focused. And all of Ashton's front line is down. Well,
he's not going
now
to
it's
kill
down.
Ghost Knight.
No, so that's a big old leak on Ashton, 124% there. And
so
meanwhile,
much
if we have a look at XGod, he's doing better, like much, much better. In fact, he's nearly killing the entire wave. But that's still an 84% leak there, with 4 full HP brutes reaching the king.
Also, not killing the Ghost Knight lose so much gold.
Yeah, the Ghost Knight is worth 60 gold by itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look at this now. The Ghost Knight even getting a couple of attacks on the king before it dies. And those 4 brutes, they just deal so much damage.
This is so close to GG.
Wow.
Well, this long save is worth, to be honest.
It is worth. It is worth.
They both pretty terrible on wave 5 and wave 6, but in the end it's worth. Only SSP is really behind. SSP at 11 income all the time.
Going 11 income from wave 1 until wave 7 is pretty rough, but I mean, he's made it work, right? And these guys, they have the worker advantage with 11 and 10 versus 8 and 10. They even, I mean, they are behind in income, right? Because Ashton is like 30 income ahead of SSP.
Sending every wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these sends every wave are just going to enable Aviator to scale even harder, right?
Yeah, and it is a bounty hunter player, so his power spike still has to come.
Yeah.
Are they going straight for the all-out 11 play? Because I think they are going to do it.
I mean, they might, right?
They just going to straight go for the all-out 11.
Yeah. And there isn't...
Aviator will get his Kingpin to protect them on wave 10.
Yeah.
And if you look at the rolls, if Ashton can spot it and can get his Hades, he has a big chance to hold, right? Because he already got his steeds.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they go for
Ashton continues to send every wave. Aviator has already mega pushed. He's on 14 workers here.
And yeah, and he still doesn't have his Kingpin.
Yeah. Well, Aviator might even pro leak this wave, you know?
Yeah, he isn't that strong here.
He's 915 value with only really weak units.
Yeah, his only good unit is the Pilgrim.
Yep. SSP obviously very strong here, but much weaker next.
This might even be more than a pro league, to be honest.
Well, let's have a quick look at Aviator's lane. Like, he only received 1 Dragon Turtle, so obviously it's a very, very small send. But I think his build is very weak on this wave. I think he's happy if he does pro league, right?
It all depends how long this will survive. Yeah. It's his only tank.
The Pilgrim is getting perfect focus, just tanking 1 creep, means it's going to get all of those healed off, which provides so much value. Oh, and now the creep split perfectly as well. Yeah, he's just going to hold with that lovely, lovely focus there from Aviator. Well, let's see, are they going to save? Is it going to be the all-out play? No. Oh, okay, it's just a snail, just a snail.
No. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an all-out play for them on 11.
Yeah.
And I think it will be GG.
I mean, it has to be, right? Because
it's
their send is going to be enormous. Yeah, it's going to be like 400 or 500 Mythium sends from Aviator and SSP. And the only thing that XGod and Ashton have to be able to hold it is Pulverizer. I mean, Pulverizer is a great spell, but it's not really enough to be able to hold like 500 Mythium.
It all depends. What is Ashton? Oh, Ashton is already prepared.
He's called it, yeah.
Smelling it. They are smelling it.
What does XGod build here? XGod goes for his Orchid as well, so with 2 boosted Orchids, that's a lot of burst damage on wave 11.
Yeah, but easily countered with a couple of DTs.
Yeah, sure.
And you have to... XGod is only on 8 workers. In the meantime, Aviator got 14 workers. But the income difference is pretty... Ashton got the double income of all the other players.
He does, but he's actually leaking here to a snail send. What? How? How?
He fully invested in...
the gun is his only unit. The gun is his only unit for wave 10, right? All of his other units are terrible on 10. But that is definitely not a pro league there for Mr. Ashton. That is...
It's a pro league for the enemy team.
It's a pro league for the enemy team. And there's Aviator with the Siege Ram. SSP, he sends Hermit, skips income, takes all out assault. He'll send a ram as well, post income.
He wanted to get the Kraken, but I don't think he will get it.
No, he won't. He would have done if he didn't send the Hermit, though.
Yeah. I think the Kraken will just melt Ashton.
Yeah. I mean, the Siege Ram is not bad either, but you're right. I think the Kraken would have just been absolutely insane.
A Kraken after income will leak Ashton full.
Yeah.
Because you think he will get the Hades or something like the Hades.
Yeah. But if it was a Kraken, he might not even kill the Kraken at all, right? Like, he might just leak the Kraken and the entire wave.
Okay, looking at the values, they are so under.
Yeah.
With all the
minus 325, minus 280. There's a 60 gold boost on X-God, which does kill, like, everything it attacks very quickly.
The ram is just getting melted.
The ram soaked up all of those shurikens at the end there. He will kill the ram, but this is just game here. There's no way the team survived long enough.
Yeah, also Ashton is leaking pretty terrible here.
I mean, Ashton's actually doing quite well. It's just that they only have 25% king. He only leaks 62%, but then X-God, he leaks 88. And with 25% king HP, this is game over here.
Ashton received 2 cents this game.
Wow.
Three of you count the still wave 10.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We can see the game plan is just don't send to Ashton.
I mean, well played, Aviator and SSP, but this is a very different pace of game than what I was expecting from these two teams.
Yeah, I was really expecting how XCOT and Ashton played, right?
Yeah.
Income fans all
Income
the way.
heavy, like snowball, worker push, all the rest of it. But no, we get King Ops on 1 from SSP. Aviator did income a little bit on 3, but that was all he sent, by the way. So other than that Dragon Turtle on 3, both of them were starving really hard into the 260 cents each on wave 7, which just damn near killed XCOD and Ashton straight away. Like, they nearly lost already on wave 7.
Yeah, that was just nasty.
Yeah.
And then you just have to pick a weak wave, and with the all-out play, there's no way you can hold a 580 cent, even if you stay.
Yeah, that was insane. That was absolutely insane. The 580 cent against XGod was just crushing. Like, even though they both called it, they both built for the wave. It was just too much. Like, you can't hold a 580 Mythium send on wave 11. It's just too much, right?
Yeah, he got 1800 value and he's still 300 under.
Yeah. And Ashton, he's also 280 under. But that leak against the snail on 10 from Ashton as well, like, with all of his magic arcane units, he was just too weak on wave 10.
The lobby is up again.
Perfect. All right then. Well, guys, let's get straight into game number 2. Toikan, what a series, dude!
Yes. Something really else what I expected here.
Yeah.
But will they do the same trick?
I don't know.
Will they start again?
I think their game plan is somewhat determined by the spells, right? Like, they see all out assault is on the table, so they say, okay, we'll just go for this staff plan, right? We're gonna get them with a 1-2 punch. We're gonna pretty much knock them out of the game with the 1 till 7, and then we're just going to finish it on wave 11. And I think that game plan, they just pulled it off perfectly here with all-out assault to seal the deal.
Then let's hope for a game without the offensive spell. I really want to see another type of spell game this time.
Yeah.
XCOD is waiting. XCOD is again late. Fashionably.
Right. Not online. Is he restarting his PC?
Do you still have the +4 with the sunglasses on your stream?
No. I popped it up and popped it back. I had it on there for about a minute at the very, very start of the game because I didn't see it was up. But other than that, I kind of just tickle it on and off anytime there's a pro league. By the way, Fiesta, I think, is one of the most fun new additions to the game. I think Fiesta just makes matches so much fun when you can pro league left and right and just pop +4 sunglasses into the old chat. I think it's really good.
Yes. I like Fiesta and ranked.
Yeah.
But
Probably not the tournament play, though.
No, 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 no. You leak way too much for a tournament play.
Yeah. And when it works, it's amazing, right? Like, if you can make your Fiesta roll work, and if you can just mega snowball with all of those +4s, it's really strong. But it's just too risky, I think.
Yeah, if you got a concert start, then it's like insanely strong.
Yeah.
Concert start is to 6 worker push and only build a boss on 2.
Yeah.
Or what also is really strong is build 1 gargle and then you leak the only 1 creep and it's getting killed by the boss poison.
Yep.
So you actually hold, but still get the +4.
And it looks like Ashton and XGod have chosen to reverse the send order this time around, so now we have XGod receiving the SSP sends and Ashton receiving the Aviator sends. And it looks like the players are all ready, so we're going to get straight into game number 2. He says, and then waits for the lobby to begin.
Yeah, there we go, there we go.
There we go.
So, game number 2.
Yeah. What do you think? Have you got a favourite this time after seeing game number 1?
I think XCOT and Ashton will get this. Just, I don't know. I have the feeling that they will get it. They will do the same.
Yeah.
They're a little bit annoyed. Let's see if Ashton picks YOLO again.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, he picks Greed.
Alright guys, let's get into the game. Twitch chat game number 2 of this best of 3 series. We have SSP and Aviator with a 1-0 advantage currently over XGod and Ashton Butcher. And they have successfully managed to scare Ashton Butcher away from choosing YOLO. He's playing Greed this time around. But did you see XGod?
Is playing Lock in Windhawk.
Lock in Windhawk, wow. I mean, it's a solid opener, right?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best openers, but still, it's not something that you will see all the time.
But I think that's really cool that we see like different players, especially at this very top level, kind of innovating and trying out new things and like leading the meta, basically.
Yeah, do you remember? I don't know. It was some Legion in-house league with Roby and Archaicum.
Yeah, they did like one of them lock in Angler and the other one lock in Priestess.
Yeah,
and they did it every game, and they made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, in the end they switched it.
Yeah.
Who locked it in? Well, yeah, it was pretty well thought of, and they were in the finals, so it worked.
Really good strategy. We have Aviator opening with Bounty Hunter again, SSP going with the gun this time around. XGod obviously making good use of his Windhawk lock-in with the 5-worker opener, and Ashton on the Crusher.
Crusher probably into Archer into Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
We see Crusher start. Okay, I like Crusher starts.
Yeah. Now, XGod is saving as well, so he's taken his 5-worker opener. He's not spending his Mythium on 1. I think he has to spend it on 2, though, otherwise he won't be able to afford the Coiler. Or the Serpent, I should say.
Oh, wait, he didn't pick the Aqua. I was expecting him to pick the Aqua for wave 2, to go for something like Fire Elemental on 3.
On Ashton.
But he didn't pick the Aqua.
What do you think about the late game rolls, by the way? I think Ashton has the best late game roll if this game does end up going late. Because he has the Butcher, the Antler, the Gate. Like, that's just obscene. And even the Dark Mage as well to boost those units.
But SSP also got a pretty good late game roll, right? He got 2 finishes with the DPS, the Azaria and the gun.
Yeah. With
actually the whole package of tanks.
Yeah.
To give that time to that. Oh, we see a snail after income, but this was just feet.
Yeah, just pure feet. Ashton can easily hold this, I think, with his Ranger. It looks like, yes, his Ranger's even tanking like the snail plus 2 creeps there, which is perfect focus for him. So easy hold there from Ashton. Fantastic positioning. Letting him hold the snail.
If I see a Bone Crusher on the 3rd column, I kind of never send a snail. Because he always
the 3rd column is like the positioning for the range unit, isn't it, right?
Yeah, Aqua or Ranger or anything.
Yeah. Right, Ashton going for the snails here on wave 3. SSP. I mean, he can add the Peewees, he should be okay, but XGod, he goes for a Brute. He's not messing about this time around.
Ashton already received more than last game on wave 7.
True. More than he's received the entire game last game.
And you can already see it. He's on 6 workers and XCOD kept Aviator on 4 workers. And he might leak, right?
He might.
Has
This is an 80 send, yeah?
And all his value is terrible in this wave.
It's pretty bad on the wave. Yeah, he even added a Windhawk here instead of doing a veteran. He could have afforded a veteran.
Oh, he's sniping the brute.
Oh, he is. I
But
don't
is
even
it
know if that's good
enough?
for him, though. This might even be, like, really bad focus. He does at least kill the brute, because that would have been a disaster if he did not.
Yeah, it's not you, and SSP is
SSP
leaking to
33%.
3
Oh,
nils.
Aviator 83% there. This is a big leak here on wave number 3.
Yeah, well, you stay on 4 workers. That's just terrible.
Oh,
If
yeah,
this was
absolutely.
with
Like,
5 workers, like, okay, it's also really bad, but with 4 workers, it's just
yeah,
terrible.
you can't be leaking 80% when you stayed 4 workers on 3. Like, that's just a really bad start to the game already for SSP and Aviator.
So Ashton with the good late game role, with the
with the early
good
game
early
advantage.
this will be a rough game.
Yeah, it feels like SSP and Aviator, they already have a very steep hill to climb if they want to make it back into this game. But that's what we want to see, right? Because we want the series to go to the best of 3, so we can have some more games of Legion, right?
Yep. XCOD is shifting for the Violet, I think.
Yeah, and he's going to get away with it too. There's no send there against XCOD, so he easily manages to get away with the shift. He'll have the Violet on 5, which is perfect. And Ashton receiving the single Dragon Turtle, he should be fine here on 4 as well. But the question is whether SSP holds against the double snail, and the answer to that is yes.
He shoots.
Yeah, he just holds. Yeah. Very close.
But he was on value. Well, he wasn't. But one of the problems I have with SSP's role is if you check his cheapest units is 25, and then
and then nothing
right?
before the Mudman. Yeah, so he's got a bit of a janky early game there.
Yeah, in the early game you kind of have to spam Pee-wees. Okay, Aviator should be fine here with a Violet, but he doesn't have a split. He had to sell his split for it.
So there's the 80 send coming into Aviator, but yeah, he's going to be fine against that, right?
He should be fine, but the problem is that he doesn't have a split, so everything will focus his bounty on the first.
I think this.
Yeah, only the snail. Only the snail. Only the snail is the Violet.
So the bounty hunter dies very quickly.
Ooh, wow. And this is also not good. SSP's only deep.
Oh no, he's a backline Mudman.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna hold, but he...
Is he going to hold?
XCOD though, XCOD 53% against the double Dragon Turtle. I didn't see that one coming, because he had a Violet of his own.
Yeah, but he's still a little bit under, and the Violet is the only good thing, right?
But Aviator leaks very small versus Brute here, and SSP is just barely holding against a single snail because of his backline Mudman. How did that even happen? Like, the Mudman's quite far forward.
I think if the Pee-wees on the left side pulled too much of the wave.
Yeah, they must have.
If the Mudman was on the left side, this wouldn't happen, I think.
But this is just such a long wave as well. Like, the Mudman takes forever to clear. And it's probably going to leak the Brute here as well, so the Brute's going to reach the King, making this the longest wave ever. And meanwhile, Ashton, he's got nearly 120 Mythium. Okay, he just goes income here on wave 6. It's XCOD sending Brute number 3, by the way, so he really is skipping those income mercenaries in favour of trying to get leaks on Aviator in the early game.
There's a little bit of salt in his sense from last game.
yeah, there it is. Yeah. He's not playing around. Like, if you're going to save us from 1 till 7, then I'm going to do the same to you. I'm going to send those Brutes, I'm going to get those leaks.
SSP should be fine here, and he didn't want to happen the same like last wave, so he plays it really safe here. And
he
I agree with
his
him.
Mudman, by the way.
And again, his Mudman doesn't tank anything, right?
Yeah, that seems like a bit of an error in his positioning there.
Now it takes aggro from the Cannoneer.
And if we have a look at Aviator, how's he doing against the Brute send? It looks like he's going to leak, right? Not a big one. Oh, actually, it might be like half the way. It might be 50%.
No, he kills one more. Depends.
Oh, he
on
does. He does. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a +4. That's a 33%. That's a Pro League.
That's a +4 indeed.
Meanwhile,
and
SSP,
Cannoneer.
he's getting his +4 as well, and so's Ashton. There's a little bit of a fiesta all around here. Pro League's in 3 out of the 4 lanes, but X-God will clear this up in the mid, so no king damage on the side. Meanwhile, the king on the left is going to get tickled a little bit more.
Yeah, but again, a little chunk. So it's already 60% now.
Yeah.
So even with all the little chunks, it's still, they are getting closer and closer to getting one shot, right? With all those little chunks on the king damage.
Yeah. All right, but this game is more what I was expecting out of these two teams. Like, people are sending every wave, people are pushing hard on the workers. We see Ashton there with 12 already on wave 7, and I think most, like, we haven't really seen any saves so far this game, right?
No, all players around 100 income.
Yeah.
And again a brute, again. But now
Aviator's going to be fine with that boosted veteran.
If it doesn't get killed. No.
Look at his bounty hunter. So this is the bounty hunter he placed on wave 1. It only has 54 stacks here on wave 7.
Yeah, he didn't get too much stacks on wave 5 because his bounty hunter was sniped instantly.
But it's surviving here, so it's going to get all of the stacks for wave 7. And wave 7 is a really important wave for bounty hunters. Like, there's 20 units. Stacks. You really want to get all of the stacks on wave 7, and he does, which is perfect.
And
Ashton goes for his +4 there.
Ashton really should switch to Fiesta with this
Ashton
game.
should definitely play Fiesta. Like, Fiesta was designed for Ashton.
Okay, what do we see? Because SSP is saving longest now.
Yeah. He's got 140 saved up. But he sends here. He just goes for income sends with those lizards. But X-God is going to place a bonk, so there's absolutely no danger to him here on wave 8.
we see income sends on every wave now.
But look at this. Aviator is not upgrading this angler here, which is full mana, so he will miss out on those stacks. He's only receiving 1 snail here, so he wasn't really in danger of leaking.
A bit of a weird bunk placement right now on X-God.
Yeah, bunking the split I think is fine, but it does mess his split up a little because those units on the left aren't going to tank anything on melee waves now unless he raises those.
I think it's for his Fire Lord to make an even split.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, SSP is just going to be fine versus a Dino, and Ashton is already on fire, by the way.
Wow. He can't pro leak again then.
No. Oh wait, he is not going to be fine.
He's not, but again, it's another pro leak. Okay, 4 creeps, 33%, very small leak. But doesn't this just favour X-God and Ashton though? They have the worker advantage.
Yes, this is not really a pro league. X-God is saving on Aviator. When do they want to go? Do they go straight 11 now with the giant snails?
Maybe,
no.
right?
Okay, no. Ashton is already sending.
But X-God is saving though.
It's a pretty good play versus both SSP and Aviator.
Yep. I think Ashton just wants to scale out of his mind though, right? Like, he's just sending every wave. He's got 15 workers while the closest is 13 behind him. And his income is just absolutely skyrocketing. Like, he has double the income of X-God, his teammate.
Yeah, but you see that X-God is enabling. He's not sending to Aviator, just so Aviator can't push and have pressure on Ashton.
Yep.
And they are already income and kinging just to protect themselves.
And here's the 180 sends, but it is just income and king upgrades, as you say. So both players are going to be completely fine here. There's no leaks to be seen, I don't think. Ashton maybe though, because the Drake is pretty good against his Butcher and of course his Gate creeps, and his other DPS is pretty bad on the wave with the 2 Daphnes and the Fire Archer. I think he's just fine, right? He's just fine. I think
he's fine. He's on 1100 value,
yeah.
So he should be fine.
And of course X-God is fine here. Now X-God, is he going to send on wave 10 or is he just going to go straight 11 with those snails?
I think it's going to be an 11 cent.
And Ashton, 19 workers here on wave 10.
Yeah, he only needs an extra Daphne, right? Is he going to going for
He goes
tank?
Antler. I think the Antler's fine as well.
Yeah, but he had to sell Pee-wee for it.
If we take a quick look over at Aviator, he is only minus 42 value here. And he will be able to get his second Kingpin online for wave 11. The thing is that Giant Snails are really good against Kingpins.
Yeah, they are. They are way too good versus Kingpins.
I think a Giant Snail takes 2 Kingpin attacks to kill, right? Which is just obscene. Like,
yeah, but they are not even full Kingpins, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Maybe even 3. I don't know.
I think it must still be 2, but yeah, like it's just the perfect tank against Kingpins because they have a very slow attack speed. So 2 attacks for a Kingpin is 5 seconds. Kill 1 20 Mythium Mercenary.
Oh, this is a pro league.
Oh, pro league there from XCOD. He has 1,075 value here on wave 10. He knows he's going in for the kill.
Mythium.
He has 400 myth. Like, what does he want to send? So
and Ashton at 22 workers.
Yeah, insane. I think XCOD can send a Cannoneer to go with his 4 eyes, but he just goes for a turtle.
And the Giant Snails.
And Giant Snails, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I would have preferred the Cannoneer, though. Like, he could have sent Cannoneer and still gotten out all of the 8 Giant Snails. And I think the Cannoneer is really valuable against the double Kingpin on 11, right? You need that kind of...
Yeah.
You need some impact damage to be able to burn through it.
Even versus the Pee-wees, right?
Yeah.
The Pee-wees and the Veterans, the Sandbatcher.
Now, there is a Saviour on the table, and Aviator does pick that one up, so now he's got 200 gold to spend. And of course it heals the King up, so both of them actually taking Saviour. SSP going for the double Hardened Mudman here. Alright, but he sends a huge... We've got 500 for Aviator. How is he going to do here?
380 on SSP. But if you check the value on Aviator, it's just insane. It's 2k value.
Yeah, he's pretty close to value. But the 4 eyes has killed one of the Kingpins already. It's already starting to attack the second. That Giant Snail is just living forever against the split. This is going to be a pretty big leak from Aviator.
Is SSP going to kill the 4 eyes?
SSP's leaking as well. No. This is a big leak for both. 101% on Aviator, 65% on XCOD, and 88% on SSP. Do they survive here? I'm not sure they do. There's 2 full HP 4 eyes.
Yeah, this is pretty close, and the King Ups are really low, right? They only have a couple of tech and 1 spell. They
have a lot of regen because of that damage they took in the early game, but they really need some damage to be able to survive this.
This will
1 4 eyes is down, but I think this is game.
Yeah, this is game again on wave 11.
We've seen
the real revenge. Yeah, the real revenge.
Back-to-back wave 11 victories. 1 for SSP and Aviator, and then 1 for XCOD and Ashton Butcher. This is a quick series so far. But guys, we do see it go to game number 3, so pretty exciting stuff.
They kinda allowed it, right? SSP and Aviator.
I mean, look at that wave 3, dude. Just look at that wave 3. It was just insane. Like, SSP leaking there against the 3 snails. He really needed to be able to hold because Aviator was receiving the brute snail there.
Is it money for an extra Pee-wee there?
On Aviator or on SSP?
On SSP.
290? I mean, with greed, I'm not sure. Like, if he had something like Cartel, then for sure he could have got another one, but I don't know if he can with greed. Meanwhile, Aviator did have enough gold to be able to get the Veteran there instead of the Windhawk, and I have to think he would have held better with a Veteran there, right?
Not sure. The Windhawk helps him with the sniping the brute.
I don't even know if the snipe was good for him, though.
No, I don't know if it was great or not. But yeah, a Veteran, it doesn't kill too much, right? Yes, it buys time, but it's actually pretty weak on wave 3.
Yeah, I mean, it lives forever, right? And it can solo half of the wave. It's just whether or not the Bounty Hunter and the Angler live long enough for it to be able to kill that stuff on the right-hand side.
Yeah, maybe the league will be smaller indeed.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, that was a lot of damage done on wave 3 already. And we saw people pretty much sending every wave, which was a big change from game number 1. People sending every wave, people leaking every wave. Like, this was a real Fiesta game. And then XGod just decides to go full starve mode. Like, he sends on 7, sends a snail on 8, and then just goes, okay, sorry, I'm going wave 11 with the giant snails. There's my 500 Mythium send. Take that, guys. You got us in game number 1, but we've got you in game number 2.
Good luck with it.
Yeah. Good luck. Wow.
Let me check if the lobby is up. Again, a wave 11 game. Yeah, the lobby is up.
And a wave 11 game. All right, let's pop into the lobby then. But that was pretty damn impressive stuff. Right, we have all of the players in here. Well, it looks like Aviator and SSP have chosen to reverse the send order again. So Aviator will be sending into XGod, SSP will be sending into Ashton. This is the same lineup that we had in game number 1, remember, and we saw how well that worked out for them. So let's see if they can bring that one to victory again. Players have just requested a short 1-minute break, so let's talk about predictions, Mr. Toikan. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think it will be the game will be ending on wave 11. I think it will be
yeah, it certainly seems
and it
that
will
way,
be
right?
just a coin flip. It will be just a coin flip. Who has the best setup on wave for wave 11?
Yeah. Well,
No,
maybe we
but
get
for
a
real,
game without the aggressive spell, right? Like, you could end up with 3 eco spells, and then the game has to work out very differently.
yes, of course. But this game was just an easy ride for XCOD and Ashton, right?
Yeah, they
Aviator
took a
leaking
really
on-
good early advantage. Like, Aviator just had no game this time around. XGod crushed him early on, and
then Aviator kind of wanted to recover with the income sense, what resulted in.
but that just
easy
fed Ashton
snowball
so
for-
hard.
Yeah.
It just fed Ashton so hard. But guys, game number 3, without further ado, is underway. Let's pop straight into the game.
And with only Overwork as an aggressive spell.
And
And we know
2
that
good defensive spells this time around. There's Allowance, there's Pawn Shot, both very, very good to be able to hold. And by the way, all 4 players picking Greed. What do you think about that?
it's the most safe option.
Yeah.
For sure. It's I kind of like it because this is the decider if you go to the final or not, right?
Yeah, so
So you
everyone's
kind
just
of
playing
want to
safe.
have the most safe option where you're most familiar with and try to win.
Yeah.
This is the one who counts.
Even Ashton not picking Greed, not picking like YOLO or something in the tournament, like it just goes to show how serious these players are taking it now. Because
X got a leash on him, right?
yeah, absolutely. Ashton going with a 5-worker Oathbreaker start. He just has to pray for no snail on wave 1.
I'm glad they changed it back. Did you already test it on PTR? How an Oathbreaker holds
It
now?
will hold now. So with the plus
holds
20 HP, it should always be able to hold a snail.
Okay.
But the patch isn't live, so if SSP went for a snail, which he does not, he goes for that king upgrade. But if he went for the snail, it would have been crushing.
And we see the future on Aviator.
I think XGod might go for a snail. He does not. He goes for the king up. So all 4 players on king ups. I think that XGod and Ashton would have just more or less won the game with double snail on wave 1.
Yep. Versus the Windtalk, who's leaking like 67%, right?
Yeah, and the gate guard leaks 42%. So there's like, what is it? 12 creeps reaching the king. Like it doesn't do much damage. It's more the fact that both players lose so much gold, while XGod and Ashton gain like 12 gold each from it. It just makes it super worth it. Look, SSP gets the RNG where he leaks 1 creep here.
Yes, with the rats for Aviator is really bad because Aviator is leaking this with 2 workers.
Yeah, and pack rats really want fast waves, right?
Yep.
Here comes snails from everybody apart from Aviator, who of course didn't have enough before income with those rats.
And we see an interesting split with a Green Devil in the middle.
Yeah, I think that aggro looks a bit weird to me. I kind of want to watch Aviator's lane to see how that one plays out.
Me too.
I mean, he's going to be fine, obviously, because he's 180 value versus 1 snail.
I know that he spends a lot of time in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Okay, it works out pretty well.
That's Pretty nice aggro split there. The Gate Guard very well protected by those two tanky little gargoyles, so he's just going to get all of that value from his doggo summons and he's going to be just fine. But meanwhile, SSP, I don't think he's fine against the Snail Send here. His Aqua does die. Or?
It's only small.
I mean, if he leaks, it's a +4, right?
Yeah, this is a... Is it a +4 even?
Oh, look at that. Mr. Slickins would be proud of a leak like that. That is like the perfect Fiesta leak.
But it's again with Aviator on
Aviator's rats, yeah. So he's kind of punishing his own teammate here. Aviator really wants those fast waves while he's using pack rats, but so far SSP has leaked both wave 1 and wave 2.
Yes, and his teammate didn't help him with fast waves. Okay, Ashton on 6 workers. He's the only one on 6 workers again.
Yep.
Greeting out of his mind. And I like it. But so far he doesn't have anything for wave 4 in his role. And SSP is saving on him. What can Ashton build on wave 4? Nothing, right?
Nothing. I mean, he has Infiltrator, I suppose, which is pretty good. But something like 2 Dragon Turtles just punishes him super hard, I think, on wave 4. We've got Income Send against SSP and XGod, but I think both players are just fine here. And XGod might even go 7 workers now.
Yeah, he should. He knows that...
He does not.
Okay, they're playing the safe route.
Oh, but SSP, he's back on that Starve train that he was doing in game number 1. So he doesn't send against Ashton here on wave 4.
Ashton is going for the Green Devil here. But why? When do you want to send now?
7?
Straight 7 again?
It's just 7 again, right?
Are they going for straight 7 again?
I think it's straight 7. It's the same that they did, same game plan
Yeah,
they did in game number 1.
wave 3. Oh,
Yeah.
no. SSP got 17 income now because he got his snail on wave 2.
Okay.
Not the same game plan.
Not quite the same game plan.
Okay, it's only one hunt Aviator did here.
So he was a little bit scared. But with that 415 value, he's more than fine here against the Fiend King Up Send from Mr. Butcher. So probably a good call for him to keep his pack rat above ground there.
Yes, I think we're going to see a straight 7 again.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. This is the thing, if you save on Ashton, he's trying to outscale it, right?
Yeah.
To send income, outscale the opponent.
But that just gives Aviator a free ride.
Yeah, it really gives Aviator a free ride.
I mean, Aviator's workers are low, but he's treasure hunting those pack rats every single wave.
And SSP is really safe now with his Violet here.
Yep.
But will...
These are going to be massive sends again on wave 7. I wonder if Ashton starts building for it. He did go for a Tempest here. So he might just go for Tempest spam as his best option to try and hold wave 7.
But XCrash is looking pretty fine on wave 7. He will can get his coiler, can get the cats, maybe a bunk if he has the balls to shift for it.
Yeah, true. I mean, if they call it, then Ashton will just build more Tempests on 6. And XGod will either shift or go for something like a deep coiler.
I think they would like leak less than... This
look at this slow wave 5 with Aviator 390 value, just perfectly drawing out the wave here. This is exactly what they need to do to get that devastating wave 7 send out. And here's income from both XGod and Ashton. Now, SSP should be more than fine here with his Violet for wave 6.
And he got the upper split, so his the Dino doesn't kill his Fire Elemental.
Yeah.
But already the coiler on XGod.
Yeah. However, Aviator might end up pro-leaking here.
And we see what the Reds do, right? Because Aviator sent on wave 3, SSP didn't send on wave 3.
Yeah.
And he got low workers, but more Mythium.
Yeah. So those rats really paying off for Aviator.
Yep. That's the power of the Reds. And you know that Ashton and XGod don't have more Mythium than SSP, right? because they hit also 6 workers on the same time.
Yeah. And now SSP pushes his 7th after this send here, which he easily holds. I think the question is whether or not Aviator goes for a Pro League, and it looks like he does.
Yeah, bro.
He's even going to kill 2 more. Does he get the summon? Oh, no summon. Okay, so maybe a bit more than he would have liked, but that's still a 50% leak. We'll call it a +4.
It's a little bit too much, in my opinion.
It is too much. Like, he would have loved to get that last very low HP Rocco, but this is just giving them the time they need. And look at this Mythium. 200 each. Here comes the sends. It's Brutes again from Aviator, same as it was in game number 1.
Some friends. And
Some
an ogre.
friends on 7, yeah.
A classic one.
Yeah.
And again, 4 friends. But he doesn't get the snail this time.
Aviator just straight up sold a Green Devil there for 130 gold. Oh,
what?
sorry. No, it was his Growl. It was his Growl.
Okay.
But look at this. 4 friends from Aviator. Ogre from SSP. I don't think he reaches 40, so he probably just has to send a snail with it. But the Ogre's insane against the Leviathans.
Yeah, and it goes straight on the Leviathan.
Straight on the Leviathan. Oh, but now it's on the Infiltrator, so at least that can tank for like 2 seconds before it dies. But look at this. The Ogre just speed-running the fortified units there, the Leviathan, the Tempest. This is a massive leak now from Ashton Butcher. His Green Devil will go down.
Not looking too great.
Yeah, he's
and
not
an
looking
ogre on the king is so much damage.
76% there from Ashton, 64% from XCrash. They do have a few more king ups this time around, however, compared to game number 1. So they're not going to go as low. They won't see them hitting 17% here like we did in game 1, but it's still a lot of king damage done here.
The ogre is already targeted, so it will be sniped instantly here. Yeah.
It's still a ton of damage though.
It's still dropping to 40, right?
Look at this here. Wow, 40%.
40.
Exactly 40%. You called it, Toikan. God gamer, God caster.
I don't have the caster's curse.
Yeah, so far you're the only caster who's immune to the curse of getting literally everything wrong.
But now Aviator got his bunk, so he's pretty safe on the next waves.
Yeah.
He can just shift on wave 9 to get his Haven on wave 10. He will be safe for 11 and 12. And then he can just build for 13. And so far, nothing in the Aviators and SSP's role is good for on 13, right?
Yeah, true.
And well,
SSP has the Violet.
True. And Violets with the star color buff with Pegasus are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Because of the percentage damage on wave 13.
XCrash
and on
looks
wave 15
really...
is just melting wave 15.
Yeah. XCrash looks really weak on 9. We can see that he has Gate in his role, but obviously SSP and Aviator don't know that, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Ascend come out here from Aviator now.
I think it will be an open work play on them.
But there's options this time, right? There's Allowance, there's Pawn Shop.
10? Is it wave 10?
Do you really want to go 10 against Deep Coiler?
But it's only the coiler, right?
Yeah, true. The rest of his stuff is pretty bad. Ashton gets his Orchid here. This is Ashton Butcher with 8 workers on wave 9. I can't remember the last time I saw Ashton having just 8 workers on 9. Like, this guy is known for his snowbally play.
Staying over value?
Yeah, he's staying over value.
What is this?
Yeah. Who are you and what have you done with Ashton?
Yes, I have to wish for XCOD after this game.
Yeah.
But XCOD had the balls to shift here, but for what? Will he get this Haven? If you shift 70 gold?
Right? And the Haven is insane on 10 and 11 and 12.
Yeah, then he will be safe. When do we see the sense here?
Does he afford it? I think he might. No, he doesn't. And even with the send, he can't quite afford it. He's 660 gold away.
360. What does he want to do?
He could sell a Crusher to get the Haven. If he's really scared here on 10, he could get it. But that's quite a lot of value to lose if the send doesn't come on 10, which we know it isn't.
Oh, he's already building the gate here.
Okay.
Preparing.
Respectable.
And again, the Mythium is just stacking up on the sides of Aviator and SSP.
They have a ton of Mythium saved up already. Here's the income resends against Aviator and SSP. SSP, I imagine, leaks here because he has Aquas and Violet, which are pretty trash units on wave 10. So even though he's only an income send, I think he should leak this.
He will only leak small.
Yeah, he's got that Disciple, so he has got some decent single target damage, but not enough to kill.
Yeah, this goes to the red Aqua, that's pretty good.
So again, this is a +4 for SSP. It gives them a long wave while they continue to save. And whenever they decide to send, it's going to be enormous. We've got 330 already on SSP, so he can go for that Siege Ram in income if that's what he chooses to do.
I think this will be longer save even.
Well, his boss is even going to reach King, so this wave is just about as long as it possibly could be.
I think they save, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I think they go straight 13.
Alright, we see pawn shop from all 4 players, so no overwork play, which indicates for sure that they do decide to go for 13, right?
This will be 13 or it will be... No 14, right? 14 is way too long.
I mean, they have options though, like X-God can have a 4 Hellgate for 13, Ashton has Orchids, and Hades is insane damage on 13, especially with the double Leviathan buff there.
Yeah, and you can always pawn shop the bad stuff.
But here's Ashton with his 20 gold boost on the Orchid, so they do expect the send to come here. They call it wrong.
But this save has to work. If this save doesn't work, Aviator and SSP are just going to insta-lose.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at their values here. Like, it's wave 11, they're 1400 value on both of them. Okay, that is partially because Aviator's treasure hunting 3 rats here. But SSP's value, that is just legit. His value is that low because he's starving so hard against Ashton.
Yes, and he leaked a little bit on 10.
Yep.
So he lost a little of gold there. Yeah, they go straight 30.
Wow, the send's going to be enormous. The send is going to be absolutely enormous. We've got 460 on SSP, 420 on Aviator.
Save since wave 7, right?
Yeah.
Straight wave 7 to wave 13.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
When you think about Starve Lords in Legion TD2, right, who comes to mind? You've got players like Shadow, who's famous for his starving, and you wouldn't, Archaika. You wouldn't necessarily think Aviator and SSP, but these guys are some of the try-hardiest starvers I've seen in a long time.
I think Ashton can't play the finals after this. He first has to eat.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Look at this.
Well, I think... No, right? They can't go straight 14.
Surely not.
Because Ashton is already preparing for wave 13 here with the Orchids.
I mean, just look at their work accounts as well. Oh,
yeah, they go 14. They go 14.
That is just obscene to me. Surely they just leak here. Surely they leak here against the income sends.
The pawn shop from Aviator.
He just sells his. He just straight up sells his Haven.
And SSP sold his boar.
Sold his boar, yeah. So he gets the Starcaller out.
SSP got a pretty nasty roll, by the way.
Look at his value, though. Look at his value. 1860
Aviator
value.
will hold with the Hades and the King Claw.
Yeah.
So Aviator will cover here,
wow.
And again this will be in Pro League. This will be a +4 from SSP.
I did not expect them to save past wave 13. SSP might be more than a Pro League. Like, he has no value for 13.
Let's call it the Pro League, okay?
Let's call it a Pro League. I mean, he does kill half of the creeps. He might even get one more here. He will, right?
One more spell.
Yeah, he gets one. Oh, he does. He does. Okay. That's a +4, 67%. And meanwhile, Aviator is holding there. He's going to get another Thanatos summon. He does.
And now we see the stand coming. The double ogre.
Wow, double ogre with 240 still in the bank, by the way. And Aviator still has 630 to send however he wishes.
Wasn't the Kraken much better versus Aviator? Or versus Ashton, I mean?
Kraken is good, but it's just an arcane tank on an arcane wave, right? I feel like sending damage is a good call.
What do we see now? Okay, 2 ogres and a pack, so they sent the same stuff.
Big old sends from both players. And I've got to say that XCOD and Ashton are looking pretty shaky on this wave. Ashton is heavily invested into magic damage. They do both have a pawn shop, though. Yeah.
Okay, XCOD is fully preparing for here with badges.
Huh?
And they are... Well, wow, Ashton is pawn shopping his orchids. Getting green devils.
He doesn't
but
want
is it
to
enough?
sell
You
his
also lose
Hades,
a lot
though.
of value, right?
You do.
Value.
But they just need to hold here, right? Like, what use is keeping hold of your value if you just die? So they're absolutely making the right decision to sell their units with pawn shop and try to hold. But I just don't know it's going to be enough. This is 700 send, 720 here. These sends are just way too much. I mean, look at this. Ashton is just completely crumbling here under the pressure from SSP. This is a huge leak from him, 138%. And here, XCOD is not doing much better.
SSP is leaking to no send.
SSP leaks no send, but well played, Aviator and SSP. A very decisive victory here.
Yeah,
Bloody tryhard, said Ashton. And you have to agree with him. They are mega tryhards on the side of Aviator and SSP.
Yes. Oh, wow. This was a 7 into 14 save, right?
7. I mean, you know, the numbers add up. So we had the king ups on 1, we had an income on 2 from SSP, we had an income on 3 from Aviator, straight 7 there with 240 and 200. SSP even saved 20 Mythium on wave 7, right? Because he could have sent a snail, but he didn't. So that's another 20 that he saved for his 14 send instead. And then it was straight from wave 7, even while XCOD and Ashton continue the income sends.
Chat, if you are watching this, this is only allowed in tournaments, not on ranked.
This stuff will get you banned from ranked, right? Like, the 1 into 7 into 14 play there from Aviator and SSP. I think Shadow might have his King of the Starvelords title taken away from him, because these guys are absolute try-hard Starvelords.
Yes, SSP and Aviator has to wash their mouths at this moment. They have to... I think they have a little dirty... Oh wait, my game is crashing.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I think XCOD and Ashton, it's a shame that we don't get to see those guys in the final because they were last month's champions, but they still played extremely well. And I've got to say, Ashton and XCOD, if you're listening, guys, you need to go and get yourself a snack because you have been starved extremely hard so far tonight.
I'm glad I did a